Hi everybody, it's Maryanne and I'm so glad to be back. I've started filming again and this time I'm going to show you some sewing I did with Lizzie Curtis patterns. I hope you'll join me. Stay tuned. Well, I got this Stella pattern from Lizzie Curtis. She has a YouTube channel, she has a website, she's located in England, Facebook page, the whole 9 yards. You do have to pay, but it is very affordable. It really is. And I wanted to try this to make a thing for sewing. One of the things you need to make sure you do is check the pattern when you print it off that it matches the little square they give you. And this one is a 1-inch square, and I'm just checking to make sure it's close. I don't know how to adjust my printer, so I kind of go with the flow, and it's worked. My first mistake is here. I am a visual learner, and I could not find the video that Lizzie has, and there is one, but I did it where you turn it out and then do a top stitch, and it makes it smaller. It's not how she intended it to go. So that was my first mistake. Now, what you need to do is to set up your stuff. Now, here I am cutting the binding. Lizzie Curtis also has a little tutorial on how to do binding, and this is how I'm doing it. Obviously, you can find that any of this stuff online easy enough. I'm not going to teach you how to do this because I am not skilled. I am, you know, I went to school, yeah, and I took sewing in school. They don't teach that anymore, but yeah, I did. And I made tons of things, but the people that are available now online and the patterns you get are really, they're very skilled. And I have to follow a video. So I'm just showing you my mistakes, what I did, how it turned out for me. I am by no means the kind of person you would probably want to follow, unless you want to see how I fix things. That's it. So one of the first things you have to do after you sew it together, this is your binding, and you want to prep that first, get that out of the way. And you have to fold it into half, and that establishes your center line. Then you fold the two outer edges towards the center line, and you iron and pin it and hold it. See, center line, fold it in, and then just clip it all the way around. I finger press most of this. It's about 50 some odd inches, even probably longer, just to make sure that I had plenty. And like I said, Lizzie goes through this. She did have a video. I went looking high and low for the video because I have to see it. I can't follow a pattern, and I'll show you my mistakes that I made trying to follow the pattern with the written instructions. And she had a picture in it, but the picture, I put the pieces down like the picture said, and that was incorrect. So there you go. What can I tell you? And this is, I'm just going through the whole thing. And after it's ironed, you're going to roll it and you're just going to clip it because then it keeps it keeps it nice and neat. That's just something, keep it on the side. Now I have a number 5 zipper. I use a zipper tape, and yeah, it's probably a little overkill on this one, but you know what? This is the only zipper color I had that matched. So I decided I'd just go with it. You take the rounded edge of the zipper pull, and then that's what you point towards the zipper. You put one side in, you slide the other side in, and you sort of push and pull until you get them even. And this is how I do it. There are contraptions that you can do. It takes a bit of finger dexterity to do this. They have people have 100 different ways. See, I'm showing you that you push with your thumb and then you slide it down. Now see that lump? That lump means that it's off a little bit. But with this particular pattern, I'm just going to open it up and it's going to be one zip out of the way. And I overestimate the amount of zippage I need, so that's it. I changed the other one to a cat one because I thought that other one was a little too big. Lay the zipper down, face sides together onto the pocket. I am not going to give you measurements for any of this stuff because the pattern is inexpensive. It's not fair for me to do that. I'm showing you that it's simple enough to make this thing. As a matter of fact, everything was cool until I did the binding. Everything worked out fine. So we're going to take the second one. As you can see, I have a ton of zippage on this thing. I changed the zipper. See, that one's just a little too dangly. I didn't like it. I looked to see if I had another one, and sure enough, I had a little kitty cat one. Not sure where I got this. I could have been So Hungry Hippie, or there's places you can go online to get zippage. Yeah, here's the kitty one. I thought that was pretty cute. Now this particular sewing kit I probably will keep for myself. Most of the time when I make stuff, I'm making it either for family members or gifts or what have you, because it keeps me out of trouble. Just saying, you know, keeping me doing things. Otherwise, I'd be bored silly and I don't know what to do with myself. You take the extra of your zippage and you can put it towards, hooks and key fobs and stuff like that on the side of your purses and what have you, depending upon how much is left, like at least 3 inches. There, see, that's not enough to do anything, so unless you're going to decorate something. All right, so I tried to do the sewing video, and forgive me because this is my very first one that I can remember sewing video. So I'm doing the best I can. I did not put a zipper foot on. I know you should use a zipper foot, but because it's a number 5 zipper, I'm able to just run it down alongside the zip teeth, and it works fine. It's enough space in between, so it works for me. What can I tell you? You're going to make sure that you move the zipper pull out of the way. Now these are not metal zip, if I'm correct, so it's not too bad. The zip pull will sort of make your seam line go funky, so you want to move that. But as you can see, I just had to push it past and it was fine. There are times you can't do that. In this case, I was able to. All right, so off we go. Onward. You're going to fold it down, iron it, and then top stitch. Yes. That really just brings everything together. And you see how my foot just kind of glides right past this. See, look at that. The zipper pull glides right past the presser foot. Right, I'm giving you another angle. Not that you need to see this, but sometimes when I watch videos, I kind of like watching this stuff, seeing how it goes. And it just slides right down, watch, look, right past. So they come out really nice. The nice little pockets. They are not lined. I suppose you could line them, but the other piece is lined, so I didn't have to do that. And that's how they're going to look on the main fabric piece. Easy peasy, nothing to it. Now we're going to attach them together. Now here's the thing, because I am a human being and not a Cricut machine, I have to trim and be careful because the pocket and the base fabric don't match up exactly. So I make sure that everything looks good. Now this is what you have to do with the other part of the zipper. You have to fold that down. So there's this cover, and I use an iron. I missed a few things after I attached the pockets. I missed filming the little pockets that you attach, and you see the center, there's a different fabric there. Those are 2 pockets on top. That's where I made a mistake on the last one, because according to the picture, it looked like one pocket was on one side, one pocket was on the other. That's not how it was. It was on top of each other, and then you attach it to the main. See how that is? All right, so now I trim the excess around the whole piece so that I could put the binding on. And this is just felt. I'm going to attach the felt to the top portion, and the pin cushion needs Velcro, but I don't have any. So this is where you would put your needles, and put the pin cushion to the right of that. And at the bottom are 2 pockets where you maybe could put a small set of scissors, maybe a seam ripper, some different kinds of threads, maybe, that kind of thing. I just think it's really cute. And it doesn't have to be just for sewing. It could be for paper crafting. It could be for a ton of different things that you might want to carry in a little container like this. Now I'm trimming off the excess so that I can put the binding on. Just is evening things off. I put the backing on. It just is sitting a little bit too far out, and I don't want it to mess up my lining or my binding. When you're putting the binding on, you're just attaching one side and you're opening it up. Yes, you folded it into the position that it's in right now, but you're going to open it up, and I'm just going to chop that off because that is nasty looking. And I'm going to put it towards the back. Wait a minute, I think I'm going to figure this out here because I had to see it in my head first before I could actually do it. So it will come out. One side will be open entirely, and you're going to go across the very first seam line. Now, see, it's opened up, and you're going down the first seam line, just following it around. This was simple. This was really easy. Don't worry about the curves. It's not a big deal in this. We're not talking quilt. And I don't do that stuff. I'm just throwing this together for me. When you come back around, or when I come back around, I'm going to do a fold over so that it attaches. I'm cutting the excess. I'm going to trim down the seam just because when you're putting the binding over, you don't want it to be lumpy. So I'm trimming especially the corners. All right, now we're folding it over and then folding it under. So folding it over and folding it under, see? So folding it over and then fold over and then pin or clip. In this case, we're using clips, which is probably the best idea. And we just go all the way around. Now this looks good, doesn't it? So far, so good. Doesn't look like it's going to be much of a problem. See, I got a lot of room in there. It's going to really finish this off nicely. It's great. Oh, and by the way, let me just say that material that I'm using came from Swanson Fabrics. You can find swansonfabrics.com, I believe it is, and it's resale. They're $4 a yard, doesn't include shipping, but you know, the thing is, $4 a yard is a heck of a lot better than 8, which is what the 8 and 9 just for plain stuff. Now this is where things went awry. I put the camera between me and the sewing machine so you could get a different view. I just wanted to try it out, right? Looks good from this side, except something happened on the other side. And because you can see this is the back side. This side looks perfect. But when I go to the front side, I missed so many places. Look it didn't catch. And that is the major thing you have to watch. Sorry for the camera strap in the way there, but you have to watch that you get the other side as well. So although that's a very good video look, it didn't work for me in stitching the binding. So I might have to use that at different times. So you could see you could put a clip, I use a bone folder to push out my seams. I don't have the Velcro for the pincushion yet, but even with the crazy bizarro binding, I had to double stitch it. It works. It's fine. It works for me. It's not like I'm going to give it as a present. I would be embarrassed to do that. Now, she has you put a ribbon on it. I tried the ribbon on the first one. I didn't like it. I prefer the snaps, and I use cam snaps. So you can see, because I had to do it, turned it inside out to do it, it made it smaller. There are the pockets that were supposed to be on top of each other. So I'll probably take that one apart. I might redo the seam on this. I don't know. It may not be worth my effort, but I do love the little cat zipper. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it's not perfect, but it's just for fun. We'll see you later.